Hello guys and girls, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat on a absolutely spectacular fall Sunday afternoon. God has blessed us here in Oklahoma with just one of the very best falls you could ever imagine. We've had very little wind. We have had a few storms roll through, and it's some pretty severe storms at that, a few tornadoes, but for the most part, day after day after day, it's just been incredibly beautiful. Not much wind. Perfect fishing days. Most of the fish are down deep. I'll talk about where I was this weekend here in just a second, but we've had a great week. This last week was very busy. Busy every single day, just on and on, and did quite a little bit of traveling around, but just had a fantastic week. This week here started out today in church at Keys Baptist Church, with my family, which is, I just don't know any better way to start the week. It started the same week the week last week started or ended. I don't know how you're saying it. Starting the week on Sunday, ending one week, starting another one on Sunday in church with your family. And I'm talking about being there with Aunt Lou, with my beautiful wife Chris, with my daughter Sherry and her husband Jack, with my son Jamie and his wife Mandy, my granddaughter Jordan, Aunt Lou, just the whole family there. And we when they come down to the ranch, we go to church down there at Midway Hills Baptist. But we've been here at Keys Baptist the last 2 or 3 weeks because I've been spending the weekends with Chris because I've been working during the week, and Sherry's been taking care of her mama. I just don't know what I would do without Sherry. But she's been taking care of her mama during the week. Chris did her last rehab on Friday, and she's going to take a break from rehab. We don't know exactly when she'll be starting back, but she's still got a long way to go, guys. She's still got a long way to go. So she'll be doing some more rehab, but her last one was Friday. She had a really great rehab. She's doing some walking in that rehab. Her speech really is probably about the same the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not noticing a whole lot of improvement, but we will be going to Mexico here sometime pretty soon for that stem cell therapy, a transfusion, whatever you want to call it, transfer, and we're really hopeful that can make some significant difference. We really don't know exactly what to expect, but we're going to give that a try and see what happens. I'll try to shoot some video down there. I'll probably do some video on the trip just to kind of let y'all tag along. I've never been to Cozumel, Mexico. I've been all over Mexico. I've been out in little bitty tiny towns. I've fished all over, 20 or 30 different lakes in Mexico. Dove hunted down there. Have many great friends in Mexico. And Cozumel, though, is one of those places I haven't been. And we probably get a little pool time laying around the pool. Probably get a little maybe beach time laying on the beach. I really don't know. I've not been to Cozumel, but we're looking forward to it. And that's coming up here pretty soon, so we'll try to take you on that trip a little bit with us if we can. But this past week, like I said, started out right here, being able to go to church with my family, just like today started out. We had a spectacular church today. My granddaughter Jordan, who plays the drums in the praise band, it was her week to pick out the songs. So we had great songs. Oh, let me talk about a little bit about a song at the end of this chat right here. Scars, the song Scars, talking about the only scars in heaven will be the ones that on the hands that's holding you. Tremendous songs, plays on all the Christian radio stations right now. I listen to it, I don't know how many times. It brings tears to my eyes every single day because there's so many memories with me personally involved with that song. So let me talk about that just a little bit when we end this chat today. But we had a busy week. We had a very busy week. Actually had started the week out with there at the ranch, and I had Tuesday, went down to Panama City, Florida, early in the morning. Gets up at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, fly to Panama City, Florida, to Hiland Park Baptist Church. Now, I've been to Hiland Park before. I spoke with that church back in 2017. We had a really big crowd. I think it's the biggest crowd they said they'd had in any event. We had an even larger crowd this last Tuesday night. We had well over 1,000 at their Wild Beast Feast, and this was men only, so well over 1,000 men and boys at that Wild Game Feast, and it was just spectacular. It's such a great church. Their preacher, a remarkable man. The individuals in that church, the ones that I met and the ones that I'd met before and visited again down there, I asked people to raise their hand if they were there when I spoke back in 2017. About probably 20% of the people were there then, so I appreciate y'all coming back. But it was just a great evening. Great food, great fellowship, just tremendous, and a lot of people got saved that night. A lot of people became believers, gave their life to Jesus Christ. There's probably well over 100, they told me, 130 or 140, that rededicated their life to God, that wanted to live closer to God, that wanted to have a closer personal relationship with Jesus. So that Tuesday night was absolutely fantastic. As it is, you know the way it is now. It took all day Wednesday to get back home. I got back out to the ranch about a little after dark on Wednesday night, and so we had a safe trip back. You know, that was really, I hate to travel nowadays because of having to wear that stinking mask. You know, we don't have to wear a mask here in Oklahoma, and I know that masks are good. They say it helps keep the spread of the virus. I don't know if that works or not. I know when we were wearing masks all the time and washing our hands, staying 6 feet apart, the virus kept getting worse and worse and worse. Once people started getting shots, it got better. And so I don't know. And then we got this little different strain or something, and now they say, I don't know. But anyway, I guess more people have died this year from virus than died last year, is what I've heard. But we don't wear masks, but when you get on those airplanes, when you're in those airports and all that, you have to wear a mask all the time. It just drives me crazy to wear that doggone mask. I want to say stick them up or something. Walk in some place with a mask on, you say, stick them up, give me all your money. But it's the way they do in the old cowboy movies. But we had a great time down there. I get back to the ranch on Wednesday night, and I had a good friend of mine from Knoxville, Tennessee, come in, Alex Rudd. Alex Rudd has got Alex Rudd Fishing, and he has a YouTube channel called Alex Rudd Fishing, a great YouTube channel. He has a lot of fun time on there. Go over there and check him out, show him a little love, subscribe to his channel. He will be having on that channel some of him and I fishing together. We will be having it on our YouTube channel as well. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now if you're watching this. And be sure and subscribe to the Catch of the Day. Those of you that are out there on Facebook and YouTube, and we know there's a lot of you because we got over 100,000 on YouTube, over 600,000 folks on Facebook, and only 18,000 something. We got 18,100 and some odd now on the Catch of the Day channel. If you are not on the Catch of the Day channel, subscribe to that channel. Go over there and subscribe. If you're on Facebook and you don't have any other YouTube channels, go subscribe to the Catch of the Day channel. We're trying real hard to get that up to 20,000 when we start on our new devotional book, Catch a Better Life. Start on that January 1. Start reading from the manuscript January 1. If we don't have the book by then, it's at the printers right now. We may or may not have it. They're saying we may not have it till February or March. But anyway, we will start that January 1, and we'll really like to start that year out with 20,000 people on the Catch of the Day channel. So if you are not subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, subscribe to that channel right now. Give it 2 or 3 weeks. We post a video every day. You do not have to listen every day. Or watch it every day, but if you'll just watch it some in a 2 or 3 or 4 week period of time, I promise you will start making some changes in your life for the better. You will become, honestly, a better person. Not anything I've done. It's all about what God will do in your life. He will do remarkable things in your life. I promise He will. So anyway, we fished with Alex Rudd on a Thursday. That was great. And then Friday we get to go up to the Bass Pro Shop in Tulsa at Broken Arrow and be up there for a couple 2 or 3 hour meet and greet. And then all of the tournament fishermen, 250 teams, 500 people, are in there for a captain's meeting for the big U.S. Open, Bass Pro U.S. Open Amateur Team Championships. And the preliminary rounds, the last preliminary round of the year was held on Grand Lake. It was held yesterday. We actually went up to that event also. My buddy Roland Martin was there. My buddy Edwin Evers was there. And so we spent that day at the Bass Pro Shop meeting people, taking pictures, just having a lot of fun, visiting with people about fishing. And so many of you asked about Chris and said you were praying for Chris, and I appreciate that to no end. I mean, just absolutely appreciate it. Actually, Chris had gone to rehab on that Friday, and so Chris brought her in the store, and they got my Bass Pro Shop discount card and my gift card that I had in my billfold, and they went shopping. So they had a good time. Chris got some new stuff, and Sherry got some new stuff. Obviously, the grandkids. Lightning was up there. He got some new broadheads and some field tips for his arrows. He's into bow hunting right now. I gave him one of my old PSC bows. About time I get a new PSC bow myself. Actually, mine's about 5 years old, and the one I gave him was a little bit older now. But it's a great bow. Shoots great. I've taken several animals with that. But anyway, we had a great time there at Bass Pro Shop on a Friday. Friday. A lot of people got to visit with Chris just a little bit. Now, she's not a whole lot into visiting because her vocabulary is pretty, well, she knows a lot of words, she just can't say them. And so she would visit with people a little bit, but she'd smile at them, and she's still got that little crooked smile because the right side of her face is numb, and she really can't do that real pretty smile that she had, but one side's great, the other side's a little crooked. Almost looks like a smirk smile. I guess we'll name that a smirk smile is what she's got. But that will come back, and she will have that beautiful smile again. I know that because I've been praying for that smile. I've been praying for that sweet voice every single solitary day, and I'll continue to pray because I know God is going to completely heal Chris. God is healing Chris. He's going to completely heal her. And I believe that this trip to Mexico that will make a big difference. I think it will help. I think God has got us going down there. I think God's involved in it. I think God had Gary Cotton call me and talk to me about that and had us follow up. Jack followed up with the doctors down there. And I just think that God has steered us in that direction in order to help heal Chris and to help heal Chris a little bit quicker. So we had a great time there at Bass Pro Shop on a Friday, and I had some stuff that I had in my mind to buy. I didn't write them down. I forgot to tell Sherry, and I didn't get nothing. I got absolutely nothing. And there was some money left on my gift card, though, so I could make another trip back up there. But we were simply visiting with all of the folks up there. We then went yesterday, over to Grand Lake where they had the big tournament. 17 pounds won that tournament. Took 11.92, I think, to get in the top 40 to get to go over to Table Rock in November and fish for $1 million. One team is going to win $1 million. $1 million fishing one day. It took me many years, almost a whole lifetime, to win $1 million in bass fishing. But to win $1 million in one day, it's amazing. And the amazing thing about the U.S. Open Team Championship that's sponsored by Bass Pro Shop and Toyota, Johnny Morse is the one that put all that together, the founder of Bass Pro Shop, my very, very, very dear friend. And all of the entry fees in those tournaments, all those tournaments held around the country, like 250 teams yesterday at Grand Lake, all of the entry fees goes back to conservation. Not only that, they match those entry fees with some matching funds. Bass Pro Shop and Toyota does to make it even more money. And I believe it's going to be something like in excess of $1 million. It's going to go back into conservation projects to make fishing better all over the country, and particularly all around the places where they held those preliminary tournaments, those particular states, like Oklahoma, like Missouri, like Texas, all of those places around where they held them. They held them all over the nation, and I hope they do it again next year. But it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. That's just all there is to it. And I know my hair's blowing around, looks terrible, but I'm kind of getting used to it. Chris she told me this morning, she said, "You got to cut your hair, baby." I said, "I'm waiting on you to get that right arm done so you can cut it." She says, "Well, it is, I'm cutting it." That's what she told me. So we had a great time at that tournament. Like Roland Martin was there, like I said, and Edwin Evers. Now, when they have that tournament in November, I think it's like the second or third weekend in November. I'll get that date for you a little bit closer. When we get to that tournament, probably a lot of the Bass Pro Shop influencers will be over there. I know Roland and Edwin's going to be there because I asked both of them. They will both be there. My guess is our buddy Bill Dance will be there. My guess is that Ricky Clunn, my good, great fishing friend Ricky Clunn, will be there, and probably quite a few other of the Bass Pro Shop professional fishermen will be there, because that's the finale, and it will be a spectacular event to come and participate. It's right there by Branson, Missouri, on Table Rock Lake, and so it's a great place. We got a Bass Pro Shop store in Branson, the Big Mother store in Springfield, the Wonders of Wildlife Museum. It's a great place to go spend a weekend or even 3 or 4 days over there when they have that big tournament. It'll be an event you don't want to miss, and I don't know how many teams qualified for it. I think 40 from each one of the 6 tournaments or 7 tournaments, so 200 and some odd teams are going to have a chance. One of them is going to have a chance. They're all going to have a chance, but one of them will win. One of those teams will win $1 million, so that is spectacular. Before we talk about that song that I talked about earlier, I did want to mention the very first Jimmy Houston newsletter. We're going to try to make sure we do these once a month. Will go out November 1, In order to get on the list to get that newsletter, you need to go to jimmyhouston.com. There'll be a pop-up there that tells you how to give us your email address. It will be an email newsletter. It will have information from our sponsors in there. It will have some videos in there and stuff that we do specifically for that newsletter. And the first one may not be the greatest thing in the world, but it'll be a personal newsletter from me to you. So you get on that list. If you've given us your email address, you'll be there. But if you haven't, go in there and hit that pop-up on jimmyhouston.com. jimmyhouston.com, you can buy all the merchandise and stuff that we have on and we talk about on Jimmy Houston Outdoors: Lucky Strike lures, t-shirts, shirts, hats, rods, reels, sunglasses, all of that kind of stuff. But if you go in there, there's a pop-up that will tell you how to give us your email address, where we will email you that newsletter. And the first one is scheduled to go out November 1. We are starting to accept orders on pecans, Jimmy Houston pecans, Twin Eagle Ranch pecans, tomorrow. Tomorrow, the 18th, we'll start accepting orders, and those will be up there on jimmyhouston.com. I checked on them a couple days ago, and it wasn't up there yet, but I'm hoping Kyle got it up there yesterday. But if not, you can call us on the pecan phone number, area code 580-618-7260, and order your pecans. We'll start shipping toward the end of the month or the first week or so in November, just as quickly as we possibly can. So anyway, those are two things that's really important right there. To get your pecans ordered, get us your email address. If you have sent us your email address to enter the year-long contest that we have and various things that we give away here, we'll be giving away things through that newsletter also, and we'll be having discounts. In fact, I think you get a 10% discount code when you subscribe to that newsletter. I think the newsletter will have a 10% discount code in there on quite a bit of Jimmy Houston merchandise, maybe all of it, I'm not sure, at least for a certain period of time. I don't know how long. But anyway, it'll get a way you can save some money buying various things that you want to buy. Christmas coming up real soon, so we all want to save money, and so that's going to work out really, really well. So the pecans, we're going to start taking orders tomorrow. I want to talk about that song just a second, because it talks about the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now. Jesus Christ will be holding you, and you will have no scars. It's got a line in there that says, all the broken, there'll be no broken in heaven. There'll be no broken in heaven. Whatever illness or problems you've had from a health standpoint on this life, you'll not have. You're totally 100% healed. There'll be no broken. And all the old will be made brand new. So those of us that's getting a little bit older, that will all be made brand new. Those are simply lines from that song. But that's true. That's exactly true. Those lines are accurate. Those lines are accurate. That's the way it'll be in heaven. But there's a line in there talked about when that song starts, and it says, if I'd only known the last time would be the last time. If I'd only known the last time would be the last time, I'd have canceled all the things I had to do and what I would give to spend one more day with you. We never know this coming week when we visit with somebody, a family member, a friend, a husband, or a wife. We never know if that last time will be the last time this side of heaven. And all I'm doing is just saying, let's try to live our lives realizing that possibility's there. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen with your best friend. It's going to happen with some of the people you work with. It's going to happen with maybe your husband or wife, your uncle, your cousin, your grandma, your granddad. Because that happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. Well, cancel some of those things you've got to do and spend more time with them. Here's the other thing that's really, really important. And most of us have gotten a little older. People like my buddies Martin Allison and some of them realize how important all that is, and how important that woman you live with, it's been your wife for forever, seems like. That man you live with, it's been your husband forever, it seems like. Don't worry about the little stuff. Don't argue with them or cut them down or say anything nasty about some little something that they did wrong, or some little something that really has annoyed you. Probably has annoyed you for 30 or 40, 50 years, and they still ain't changed. But try to speak a little nicer. Try to treat them a little better. Hold on to them a little bit tighter. Give them a little bit longer kiss. Tell them I love you a little bit more frequently. And just try to realize really, really, really how important they are to you. And treat them that way. When they do something that bugs you, don't say anything about it. Just let her roll. Let her roll. And it works both ways, guys and girls. It works both ways. If we will just do that, our relationships with everybody we have relationships with, whether it's your husband or wife or son, daughter, grandma, granddad, your next door neighbor, your boss at work, your employees, the guy that gives you your coffee at McDonald's or Starbucks or whoever you get your coffee every morning, the guy that checks you out at the grocery store. All of those relationships will become better if you just realize it might be the last time you ever see them. And you think about it, when that happens, you know, they just checked out my groceries at the grocery store the other day. I gave them a smile. I said something nice to them. They said something nice back to me. Makes you feel a little warmer in your heart. Not only that, there might be a time, there will be a time, when they have that same experience on the other end, and they have the last time with you. Because we all have an appointed time to leave this earth. So treat everybody that you care about with a little more respect, a little more love. Overlook the bad stuff. Most of that bad stuff, most of the things that I've been upset with for people in my life, most of them I can't even remember right now. If I was to have to write down 20 or 30 things, people, and write their name down, and write something why I got upset with them last week or last month or 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, I probably couldn't do it. There are a handful I could fill a page up with. But you know, as important as it was at the time when some of those people hurt me, it's really unimportant right now as we're standing here on a beautiful Sunday fall afternoon in the great state of Oklahoma. And I look up at clear blue crystal skies. I just think, ain't God good? Ain't God good? And let's just treat everybody better, particularly those we love the most. Let's spend a little more time with them. Let's hold them a little tighter. Let's speak a little kinder. And for crying out loud, tell them you love them more frequently. And remember, I sure do love you.